Hello and welcome to the least necessary of the unnecessary detailed sessions that we're probably going to have in a while. This is a 10 rupee pencil in India. A pack of 10 comes for 100 rupees. So for about $1, if you're getting 10 of these pencils, full plastic construction, a 12 lead, a metal spring inside most likely. What more can you ask for? So why are you even watching a long form discussion on a 10-cent pencil? Anyway, since you have come in, you must be interested. So let's get on with it. What is this pencil? This is Flair Move. They come with standard 2B leads and, of course, 2 cross section. A pack of 10, this is what a pack of 10 looks like. I think they've got a Bollywood celebrity here as a brand ambassador. So really, how are they doing this? How are they putting out a pack of 10 pencils with a sharpener and an eraser for 100 rupees? How? I do not get it. For contrast, Stedler one lead, which is about 12 or 13 costs about 60 to 70 rupees. So one pencil with a full lead is is one-sixth the price of a single lead. So this is quite amazing. I think this is a marvel of modern industrial progress and ingenuity through which cost cutting has been achieved. Does it feel cheap? No. Does it feel usable? Yes. Should you buy it? It's $1. It's 100 rupees for 10. 10 rupees for one. Buy it, but don't use it. And in the remainder of my time with you, I will tell you why you should buy it and why you should not use it. First impressions about the pencil. I've had these for a while. I've been using them for a while and not using them for even longer. Here's why. The pencil looks good. It's circular, not hexagonal, which means it's going to roll on the desk. So there is always a fall risk associated with it. The colors are quite impressive. They look nice. Uh, the gradient thing looks interesting, but what's even better is that the plastic or the paint, whichever one's responsible for this, it has a matte finish. Does matte have an E at the end? Add it if it's there. Anyway, it has a matte finish, which leads to a good grip, which is something that I quite like. So when I'm using it, I've never been in a situation where my hand is slipping around, as it does in some other pencils that I will talk about in future videos. Um, Now, when you look at it, it suggests that this end is going to be an eraser, but no, it does not have no eraser. Instead, it has an end cap. So it comes off like this, and you see the tube in which the lead goes, and it clicks back on. Looks neat. An eraser would have been good to have for more reasons than one. First, I think an eraser would have been slightly denser than this plastic, which would have added slight amount of weight towards the back of the pencil, which would have given it just that little bit of heft that is needed to make the writing experience with this more enjoyable. Uh, it is okay to write with, but it just feels a little too light at times and does not egg you on, does not encourage you to keep writing. So that's where I get stuck with this one. But yes, maybe an eraser at the end would have been a good addition. They of course give you a small eraser with the pencil in the box. Second, of course, no end cap sharpener. The sharpener comes separately. We'll talk about this a little later in our discussion today. Um, so yes, it is. There are in fact a couple of very nice Flair pencils that do have end cap sharpeners at least. I'll probably talk about them separately, or if I can find one right now, I will quickly show you. I think it's called Click, and there's another one. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is another Flair pencil. It's called ClixX. Not a very big fan of this pencil. The form factor, it's just too thin for me. Does not work. Separate discussion maybe on this. But what it is really useful for is this end cap sharpener. It is very useful. I like this. I bought a couple of these just for the sharpener. I rarely use the pencil. I use the sharpener as an emergency one in my bag. Anyway, moving on. Let me know if you want to hear more about this. I haven't written too much with it. I have not written too much with it. So I would not like to share unformed opinions. But if you're interested, I can probably spend some time with it and see if I end up enjoying this. Um, Colors, I know, I think I saw a few other color options. This one has a fade. There's one probably with Disney characters, Mickey Mouse. Maybe there was one with Avengers. So definitely it's going to be good. It's going to be an interesting addition for the kids. Um, this the length is almost the same as a regular wooden pencil, minus the heft, minus the solidity you get with a pencil. That's sort of missing here. But still, overall, a very good product to use sparingly. It does not come with spare leads. Ideally, I should have, and I'm not very happy with the leads. So the leads are just about meh, or in terms of smoothness, I think they're okay. From not at all to very, I think they're somewhere in this region. Maybe I should have tested these pencils with better leads. But why? What's the point of it? If I'm going to use a more expensive lead, I would use it on a more expensive pencil. So the whole test becomes futile and it's a waste of your time and mine. So, yeah, I think this remains usable. Smudge test, if you quickly want to see this, doesn't smudge very much. Um, Interesting to use. I've already, just looking at my notes, I've talked about the paint, I've talked about the weight. Um, Now, what happens is, since it is so light, I tend to grip it very hard and press it very hard into the paper, which leads to finger fatigue as I'm using it. Not a big fan of that. So if I have a short writing session, quick notes, maybe I would use it, but for long writing sessions, I wouldn't. Um, so just to round this up, um, here's why I would buy it, what I would use it for, and why I wouldn't use it too much. It is a decent product at a very appealing price point. You just you really cannot say no. And I am very happy to see companies bringing in such products which are providing access to vast swaths of population for whom maybe this is also an extravagance. So this is great. Uh, Sadly, it might not provide the right writing experience and may not encourage those kids who get their hands on these pencils to continue writing with them in the long term, which is probably a fail. So it's a win and a fail, and I stay confused. In fact, another point of confusion for me on this product is sustainability. On the one hand, you have a wooden pencil which is painted, and each time you use it, you end up wasting a lot more of it. It's easier to be more precise while sharpening this kind of a lead. But when you're sharpening wood, this pencil keeps getting shorter. Beyond a point, it's not usable, then it's thrown away. This one can last a very, very long time. Technically, plastic lasts forever, is what they say. But yeah, there's nothing that seems to suggest that anything will go wrong with this pencil. So it will be very long lasting. And if all you end up doing is replacing the leads when it runs out, then I think it is going to be more eco-friendly. However, if you're not refilling the leads, if you can't get your hands on leads, or if you keep losing them, then we're just adding plastic waste. So I really do not know whether it's a net positive or a net negative for the environment. I'll leave that decision to you. A definite advantage is that it does not get shorter. Like all of these lead holders, as you use them, you can continue to use them and they stay good throughout the usable life of the product. And that's largely everything that I had to say about it. Buy, but don't use too much. So have this in your bag, have this as a throw around, have this for emergency notes. If you buy it on something like Amazon, you might be forced to buy 20 pencils, two 10 packs. That's the minimum order quantity that I saw when I ordered. So now I've been giving these away to people I meet. These are again good things to use as an emergency, as backups. Good to have in the bag for quick notes, but not for long writing sessions where you just want to sit down, pen your thoughts, enjoy the writing experience. That's not it. And that's all for the pencil. Now a quick aside for the sharpener. This is a very nice sharpener. I am pretty happy with the kind of tip it produces. It's not very so this is the lead cross section. It does not give a very long tip, nor does it give a very stubby nose. It's somewhere in the middle, so it works well for me. Not not on either of the extremes. But the difficult part is I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has a slight indentation over here, and it took me a long time to figure out how to the access the sharpener. Where does the lead go in? Eventually, it turns out that this opens and then the lead goes inside here. Uh, Another interesting innovation. Look at this. They've got a plastic hinge inside this. It snaps open and it shuts closed. The seal is decent. I've not had graphite spilling out of the back, but then the top is a bit loose, the transparent cover. So if this comes off, of course, all the lead is going to be everywhere. But overall, this is a very interesting sharpener. I like it. I tried looking for it. I wanted to buy a few spare. Um, it is listed as a separate SKU on the Flair website, but I could not get my hands on these sharpeners separately. I don't know if they sell them separately anymore. But yeah, thank you very much, Flair, for bringing this product out. Uh, Lots of respect for the innovation and the thought behind putting this together, for giving a full size lead which uses most of the length of this pencil. This is a really long pencil. So, and the thoughtfulness, the pricing, the increased accessibility, I think a big step in the right direction. Or maybe it has been and I just discovered it. I don't know. It's when this product was first launched. And that is all I have to say about that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.